Hey everybody, Prepared Brad here. I wanted to go over quail feeders today. Now, I'm sure most of the feeders that you're looking at right now you've seen or you own. And basically, feeders are an extremely crucial part of feeding quail. There are 6 things that you need to look for when you're trying to figure out what feeder is best. And at the end, I'm going to show you the one that I've actually homemade that's cheaper than the ones in the picture here, and how it addresses the concerns that you have with the feeders. First one is capacity. Obviously, the more feed that you can put in at any one given time, it makes it easier on you because you don't have to continually go out and refeed. Spillage is a main concern. The most expensive part of raising any animal is the feed. And if you're doing anything for meat, you have a feed to meat ratio. And that can get thrown off big time when there's a lot of spillage. Quail in particular are pickers and throwers. They like to go after particles of food that are a specific size, and they'll pick up and throw ones that are a little bit smaller, ones that are a little bit bigger, until they actually find the one that they're looking for. And that creates a lot of waste, and that creates a lot of extra cash out of your pocket for that. The third one is sanitation for the birds, for 2 reasons. One is if the birds can actually get on top. Now, these are supposed to be made to where birds don't get on top of them, but they do. I've always had feces in the food when I go out to refill it, and because they throw the particles around, I've also had food particles in my waters as well. So, from a sanitation standpoint for the birds, they're putting their own feces back in their food, and that's not sanitary for them. The fourth one is sanitation for you. Obviously, having to go in and pick up feeders that have feces on them and having to change them out and refilling them, that's gross as well. The fifth one is ease of filling. And the 6th one is cost. Now, most of these commercial feeders cost somewhere between $5 and $15. The one on the right there, that's for chicks. Once your birds get big enough to where they're flighty, they jump around and things like that, they can bump the top of that, and it's so top heavy, it'll just tip over and spill out. It's a good one for chicks, though. If you look at both of these, it's kind of the same thing. The birds create all the problems with this. I mean, you have to refill them every day or two. They spill a lot of food. The birds poop on them. You have to change them once they poop on them. They're kind of easy to fill. I mean, they're not that difficult to fill. And cost, they can be decently expensive. So as an alternative to all these, I actually used a couple models that some other people did, and I came up with my own variation. Now, the first thing you're going to need is Glad Family Size Extra Large 13 Cup. You get a 3-pack for $5. So basically, you're only looking at $1.67 per each. Now, the way that I've actually seen this done on YouTube is you just basically cut 1 1/4 inch holes, 2 on each side all the way around, so there's a total of 8 of them. Okay, you use a 1 1/4 inch hole saw, which is the easiest, because if you try and manually do it as thin as this is, they'll crack and break, and it's not really made for cutting. This solves a lot of the problems. You can put more capacity in it. The birds can't poop into the food. They don't spill it because they have to stick their heads all the way in to get the food. So it's cheap. So it basically solves just about every problem except for the fact that it's not sanitary for you. The birds will still stand on top of this. They will still defecate on it. And every time you come out, you have to lift the lid up, and it's going to have feces on it, and it's going to be dirty for you. So basically, instead of $1.67, I have a $5.25 option. And you can see the basic bones of it is the exact same. I've got the exact same one that I made with the 8 holes. I have a funnel that's turned upside down, and I just put the little thing on it that you put underneath your chairs so it doesn't scratch your floor when you slide around. You can use electrical tape or anything like that just to cover the hole so feed doesn't go in there. I had to actually take about 1 inch off the bottom of that to make it fit. And then I just took a piece of 4-inch PVC pipe, Schedule 40, and I took the same 1 1/4 inch drill bit hole saw, and I made a bunch of holes. And then I set it down over top and made my line all the way around and cut out so that sits down. And then I just took another funnel and I measured it and I cut it out and I put it down on it to where, if you can see from the edge, there's not any room for the birds to stand up here. because this is basically going to keep them off. Now, if you push this all the way down to the bottom, then they'll have plenty of room to be able to stand on it, because again, they're just standing here and they have all this room for their body. But by elevating that back up to where it hits chest level, it pushes them out further and it keeps them from being on it. Now, capacity, this will hold about twice as much as this one or this one, so it means that I don't have to fill my feeder as much. My door, my feeder, or my quail cage sits kind of low. I open it up from the top, not from the side. So basically, I have this set up 9 inches. I have a 12-inch cage height. So this is set up to where the birds cannot, even when this is full, get up here and sit on top of this. Now, if you have a 2-foot tall cage, you can make it to where the total thing is 18 or 20 inches tall. And then you just have enough room to put in the top, and they're not going to fly all the way up and get on it. You can hang down a 2x4 8 inches if you want this to be 8 inches short of the top, to where you just scoot it forward a little bit, fill it back up, and then push it back underneath, and they still can't get on top of it. So basically that's my solution. It cost me $5.25. Each one of the 2 funnels was $1.79. It was $1.67 for this. I had a 10-foot piece of 4-inch pipe laying around. Chances are either you do or one of your neighbors or buddies does as well. And I had $5.25 in it. And again, just to recap, it has double the capacity. The birds have to stick their head all the way in so they don't spill anything at all. It's sanitary for the birds. They can't poop on their feed, and they can't spread all the feed and everything around, which does have poop on it, to get into the waters. It's sanitary for you, because all you have to do is take a scoop and pour in the top. You don't have to touch anything, so you don't have to worry about it being unsanitary. It's extremely easy to fill, and cost-wise, it's only $5. So that's the one that I've come up with is the best. Leave comments and let me know if you have anything that's different that you think may work better. And I always thank you for watching.